Welcome, Libra. This is your weekly focus, February the 4th through to the 10th, 2019. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Uh, we start the week with a wonderful, beautiful energy, the new moon in Aquarius. So the sun and moon are in Aquarius. If you look a couple of degrees ahead of them, Mercury is in Aquarius too. It will be going to Pisces, I think, on Sunday of this week, but I'm really not going to concentrate too much on that energy as I shuffle the cards for you because it is Sunday, so it'll probably be, we'll feel it maybe on the weekend, but more as we go forward. I think it's going to be in Pisces for a very long time, so I think that's where the retrograde's happening. It's not in shadow yet, though, so we are moving forward. Absolutely. Now, those Sun, Moon, Mercury are what is considered conjunct in astrology. They're basically sitting on top of each other, and they are sextiling Jupiter, which is in Sagittarius. So, that just, it brings in good luck, good news. There's an optimism. There's a bounce in our step. There's a happiness that surrounds us all, a collective happiness, joy that we can tap into. Let's see what it means for you as we look at your cards. Oh, the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords. Worry, fear. Let's see what other cards come out, but maybe you're hesitant to show your true self to other people or really step into your creativity. Maybe you don't think you're as good as you are, or maybe there's a lot of relationship issues going on right now in your life. But these are the little things that we worry about. These aren't the big things. And you know what? It's going to take your focus off the big things. So be careful about when your mind starts to wander about all those little petty things that are really not going to matter in 5 years. If it's not going to matter in 5 years, we really don't want to be putting too much attention to it, especially when we're trying to predict our future rather than dreaming of our future. And they're completely different things because when we let our minds take over, it usually takes us to the negative faster than it'll take us to the positive. So when we dream, when we expand our hopes and our dreams and our desires and what we want to step into and who we want to become, and dream it, it's never been done, so you can have it as beautiful as you want. And that's the kind of energy that you really want to tap into. Don't let yourself start playing out a scenario and it goes wrong this way and it went wrong that way, and especially if it's something from the past that's still eating away at you. No matter how many times you replay it in your mind, it was still the same outcome. And so here you are at this point in time, and how do you go forward with that information? Not replaying it over and over in your mind. We have the Knight of Swords. You're not the only one to get the Knight of Swords in this position. So in a lot of ways, you might have felt like you were taking one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back, and all of a sudden you hit the clearing, you jump on the back of that stallion, you raise your sword high in the air, and you yell charge. So this is almost a call to action for you in going forward after your dreams, after your desires, stepping into your playful, creative nature. We don't even have our armor on or a helmet on or anything. We're just letting the wind go through our hair, and we are enjoying the experience of going forward in some way. We have the Star. This is making the impossible possible, people. Wow. What beautiful energy to be gifted on a new moon week for you. This is believing in yourself. This is taking time to, once again, go into your thoughts, but creating that, taking it to the next level and beyond in your dreams and your desires. And, there's some kind of practicality or sensibility that steps in and says, you can do that, That's doable. That's something that can become tangible. And you start to get insight, intuition, sage wisdom, things coming together that you didn't think were even possible to come together. So yes, luck may play a very good role for you this week in just a door opening when you least expected it that allows you to move forward in a way. We are holding that sword high and yelling charge. There is a call to action here for you. The Three of Swords. A lot of people are getting the Three of Swords. I get it mainly as a healing, but it's an inner healing. Now, this is mainly work, career, what defines you. So maybe, you know, this card could be you're beating yourself up that you didn't push hard enough, you didn't try hard enough, you didn't have the right conversations, you were late every day for work and you shouldn't have been, or you picked that fight with that coworker and now it's come back to haunt you in so many different ways. This is self-forgiveness I get more than anything else for everybody this week. Healing from something. So maybe somebody has said something to you in the workplace or within the community that's kind of made you take a step back and made you almost feel like you didn't have as much worth or value, and you do. It's allowing yourself to it's allowing yourself to become creative again, playful again, letting romance in, taking down a wall that you've built to protect you, but in some way has separated you from being able to really move forward in the direction that you want. We have the Fool. This could be new relationships, new friendships, new alliances, new partnerships, new groups of people, new experiences with people. This could be a new path within society in some way. You could become a speaker for an organization or a cause, or maybe a motivational speaker, a healer in some way. Now, don't think that the Fool, I mean, there is a sense of being a little naive when we are the Fool, that we don't know all the answers yet, that we're not sure of what, we're really signing up for yet. But it's really about going with the flow. And if you look back in medieval times, okay, the only person that could take jabs at the queen, the king, the emperor, the empress was the Fool, right? The court jester. He was the only one that could mock and get away with it, leave at the end of the night with his head still attached. So it's about taking that little extra risk, pushing a little bit farther in relationships, asking for, you know, it is in the relationship sector. So where is it that you need to let your hair down a little bit more within the relationships and get a little bit more comfortable with it, and don't be on the defensive as much? To kind of stand in your own truth and demonstrate your play, your self-expression, your creativity, without some kind of sense of reprisal. And so I think you're kind of separating those people a little bit in your life. The people that were the naysayers, or you shouldn't be hanging around with them, or what do you see in that person? You're just kind of pushing them out of the way and really going after your own intuition, your own feelings in certain relationships. And we have the Moon card. Stand in your truth. Stand in your truth. So the Knight of Swords and the Moon would come together on the board. The more you stand in your truth, the more you stand in your truth, the more that you will be able to feel the sense of liberation, the sense of freedom in what you want to do and where you want to go. I really get this as a call to action for you in standing in your truth. Now we have the Nine of Swords and the Fool. Don't get hung up too much on the relationships what was said, what wasn't said. It's aligning you with a new path forward. So, especially if you've had some people leave in your life recently, know that it was so that you could have that open path available to you going forward in some way. And maybe you don't understand it now, but looking back, you will. And instead of sitting up all night and what did I do wrong and what did I say and what should I have done, what didn't I do in this relationship to kind of get this distance between us, look at it as a new lease on life, to step into new beginnings, new starts within relationships. And if there's problems within the relationships, the Fool doesn't necessarily stand alone. It talks about a new path or an elevated path. So if there has been problems in the relationship, it could be a very strong time to bring things into alignment so that you can step into career choices, job promotions, doing something within the community, changing things in your life in some way. The Star and the Three of Swords. You can make the impossible possible. But you can only do that if you allow yourself some type of inner forgiveness. There's some way that you felt that you really pulled the plug on something, or you really failed, or to just forgive yourself. Take the wisdom of the experience and move forward. And you'll get that aha moment. You'll get that epiphany. And this might be not the same, but very similar to something that you experienced maybe in the past. So maybe before you thought, maybe you want to change the world in some way. Okay, let's just go. You want to change the world in some way. Maybe it's your community, maybe it's your workplace, maybe it is the world at large. And one person obviously can make a difference, but one person never thinks that they have the power to make the difference. And so we usually run up a little short in our expectations of ourselves, not believing in ourselves wholly, of our talents, our gifts, our abilities, our voice, to really move things in the direction that is just and fair, that has balance, that has beauty. Maybe you didn't compromise once when you should have compromised. Let it go. Take the wisdom with you. Don't be sitting there beating yourself up all the time about it. It's about true forgiveness to yourself that will really allow you to move forward with the strength. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.